This is my globalisation essay proposal. I'm going to look at and examine the global growth and the impact of the so-called digital disruption on the television services by streaming platforms such as Netflix and Amazon Prime, and also I'll look at Disney Plus as well. My question is looking at streaming services and its digital disruption on the television industry, and whether it has affected or caused terrestrial television companies such as BBC and Channel 4 to make new products or new services that will allow them to stay competitive in the television market. The key theory I'm looking at is digital disruption, which is the desire to change the world and society, or changing society's everyday activities through technology. So streaming services are changing the way people perceive content or television. And the reason it's so easy for the business model of streaming services, streaming subscriptions, to be related to digital disruption is it's a huge industry that has seen a massive shift in the last couple of years due to streaming services. And terrestrial TV channels such as BBC, ITV and Channel 4 have had to start developing demand services such as BBC iPlayer, ITV, Hub and All 4 because of this extreme surge of streaming services just taking over. The academic literature I'll be using is I'll be looking at the way digital disruption is actually, how disruption actually changes in certain industries. So in certain, as this piece says here, in certain industries it can happen quickly, but that's normally for high technology industries, whereas less digital services or digital industries, it'll be slower and more subtle. Whereas in especially global north, and the TV industry is very digital, so it happened quick and fast, and it's very explosive. The academic literature, which also I'll use, will be looking more specifically at Netflix and the streaming industry and its effect, and the reasons for why there's been such a digital shift in the television industry by streaming services. And Jones in this piece states that streaming services, you don't have to have that overhead anymore. There was stuff around where you could, use content in your own time, such as DVDs, DVRs, etc. But you'd have to go and buy them, or you'd have to think ahead of time. Whereas now, you literally turn it on, choose what you want there and then, job done. And you can do it right there, that second, which is completely changing the television industry and affecting massively these television channels such as BBC, etc., which are on very much a schedule which everyone has to abide by. And if you just want, you don't want to wait for hours for your content to come on. If you can just go out there, click on it and watch straight away in your time, then it's easier. The key cases I'm going to be looking for, especially mainly for the global north, will be Amazon Prime, Netflix and Disney Plus, and the affected terrestrial TV channels will be BBC, ITV and Channel 4. The topic is important because the television industry is one of the biggest media industries on the planet. Especially in the UK, it employs around 50,000 people, as recorded by Ofcom. And the television industry is a hugely money-oriented industry, and it brought back in 2018 £16.18 billion, British pounds, just in the UK, which is huge amounts of money, and shows you why streaming services such as Netflix and Amazon Prime affecting terrestrial TV channels is having huge effects on the audience, but then having huge effects in terms of money coming in for companies. If the money's not coming in, then they're not able to make the content that they want to make, and if they're not making the content they want to make, then they're not the audience isn't going to come back for the content, and you're just going to fail. How will it go? How will it refer to the global north and global south? Well, global north, as I've described previously, because it's a high or rich area with more technology, as it said in this previous quote. It said that in high technology places, it's quick, explosive, and happens overnight, which it has happened over the last couple of years. It's exploded in the global north, whereas in the global south, it will be a bit slower. So it will be changing. I'm going to look at the changes that it's having, but it won't be as monumental as it does in the global north. But then also I'll look at places such as China, which haven't necessarily banned it, but have made it very difficult for streaming services such as Netflix to operate in the country. Quote from Millward was, it hasn't actually banned Netflix, but the barriers that it's giving to Netflix is so challenging and hostile that it's impossible to get the legislation to actually stream and get content to have the rights to be able to stream in China. Because if you go to China, you can actually open Netflix, and it will say China mainland at the top, and it will have a website, but there will just be it will just be empty. And it's because Netflix literally cannot get any content over there. But we're going to look at the reason why they've made it so unrealistically difficult for foreign companies to get legislation and rights over there. Is it to protect the television industry, or is it because they have got their own streaming services such as Youku, etc., which are currently working and well used in China? Is it to protect them as well?